Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're in the travel and hospitality sector, there's a good chance you've lost sleep over one very specific, very painful reality. And that's the devastating loss of revenue from sky-high chargeback rates. If you operate in travel, you already know that sinking feeling, right? Seeing a chargeback notification pop up. It drains your time, it drains your cash flow, and honestly, it drains your energy. But what if I told you there are actual structural ways to defend your bottom line and stop these disputes before they even happen? Well, that is exactly what we are going to unpack today.
Now, right out of the gate, we've got to ask, why does travel consistently face some of the highest chargeback rates across pretty much any industry? It's really important to understand that this isn't just a string of bad luck for your business. It's actually a structural issue embedded deep within the travel industry itself. The whole way transactions are processed and fulfilled practically invites disputes if you aren't perfectly protected.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the travel chargeback trap, then look at why travel is so vulnerable, the anatomy of a dispute, how to go about bulletproofing your business, and finally, enter Adaptiv payments.
All right, part one, the travel chargeback trap and unpacking the industry's vulnerability.
There are some serious structural risks baked right into the travel business. Take delayed fulfillment, for example. You book a destination months in advance. That massive gap between booking a ticket and actually boarding the plane leaves so much room for life events, plan changes, or honestly, just simple forgetfulness. Add in the fact that these are high-ticket purchases, costing thousands of dollars, which makes customers super quick to dispute if they suddenly hit financial trouble. You're also dealing with cross-border bookings, multiple fulfillment parties where one bad vendor can ruin the whole trip, and seasonal surges where overbooking is totally out of your control. It's a perfect storm for friction.
But, it's not just logistics. Think about the psychology here. Travel and vacations are deeply emotional purchases tied to very limited time plans. A family might save up for years for a dream getaway. Because the emotional stakes are just so incredibly high, if any tiny part of that experience falls short, even if you did your job perfectly, the customer's immediate frustration can instantly trigger a bank dispute.
Which brings us to Section 2, Anatomy of a Dispute, looking at fraud versus forgetfulness. Let's bust a myth right here.
Have you heard the term friendly fraud? It sounds like a total oxymoron, right? Friendly fraud happens when a customer actually goes on the trip, gets the service, but disputes the charge anyway. And frankly, it's rarely a calculated scam. It's usually just poor budgeting, some unexpected financial stress when they get back home, or they genuinely just forgot they made the purchase 6 months ago. You're usually battling confused customers, not international hackers.
Oh man, here it is, the absolute most dreaded phrase in all of e-commerce. I don't recognize this charge. Imagine your customer looking at their credit card statement and seeing the name of some obscure back-end payment processor instead of your booking brand. Total panic sets in, they think their card is stolen, and boom, a simple mislabeling turns into a full-blown bank dispute before you even realize something's wrong. Besides unrecognized charges, you're constantly fighting claims like services not received, which again often happens just because the trip is scheduled so far out, or unauthorized transactions, which a lot of the time isn't a stolen card, it's just a family member using it without asking. Then you've got cancellation fee disputes where they just didn't read your fine print, or unavoidable itinerary changes. See a pattern here? It's mostly simple misunderstandings that bypass you completely and go straight to the bank.
Okay, let's stop the bleeding. Section 3, Bulletproofing Your Business with Practical Defenses. We're going to pivot from the problem to some highly actionable steps.
To build an absolute fortress around your revenue, your checkout flow has to look exactly like this. Step 1. Put your cancellation and deposit rules front and center right when they pick their dates. Step 2. Mandatory checkout acknowledgement. Make them check a box saying they understand the non-refundable parts. And Step 3. Automatically send an email restating those exact terms. Having time-stamped proof of a customer accepting your refund policy is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to win disputes.
Remember that "I don't recognize this charge" excuse? Here is your silver bullet. Your billing descriptors absolutely must match your public-facing brand, not some parent company's legal LLC name. And take it one step further. Put the reservation ID right there on the billing statement. When the bank sees that the charge has the exact confirmation number sitting in the customer's inbox, they shut that dispute down instantly.
And when it comes to fighting the bank, your own internal records are literally your best weapon. You have to be meticulous. We're talking booking confirmations, deep itinerary details, policy acceptance stamp times, IP and device data from the exact moment they purchased, and all your email and SMS logs. If you have to prove you delivered the service, this paper trail proves you did your job flawlessly. Next up is your strategic fraud prevention stack. You have to authenticate the cardholder upfront to keep your baseline chargeback rate healthy. Always require the CVV code. Second, run AVS, the address verification system, to make sure the billing address matches the bank's file. And third, use 3D secure checks. This automatically throws up a risk challenge if there's a weird change in IP or location, making sure only verified bookings get through.
Another amazing defense is offering payments that just aren't as dispute-prone as credit cards. Think about wire transfers versus ACH for those massive high-ticket bookings. Wire transfers are basically irretrievable, which is incredibly secure for high-order values. ACH transfers can technically be reversed, but statistically, people dispute them way less often than standard credit cards. Basically, if you diversify your payment methods, you diversify your risk.
Now, this right here is one of my absolute favorite tactics. Heavily encouraging travel insurance. Think of it as a brilliant embedded sales tool. If a customer's trip gets derailed by illness or extreme weather, the travel insurance reimburses them directly. They get their money back, and they never have to file a damaging chargeback against you. It's a win-win. Keep your ratios low while providing real value.
But here's the thing. You can implement all the best practices in the world, but if your underlying payment processor doesn't get travel, you are fighting an uphill battle. So, Section 4, enter Adaptiv payments, the structural safeguard.
This is what we call the Adaptiv advantage. These guys don't just hand you a generic processor. They build tailored merchant accounts specifically underwritten for the travel industry. They bring advanced international fraud protection so you can securely take bookings globally. And crucially, they actually have the bandwidth to handle your massive seasonal volume spikes without suddenly freezing your account. They give you the tools to protect your bank relationships.
And this is huge. Having real-time chargeback management tools gives you a massive leg up. Because they alert you instantly, you can spot that friendly fraud the exact second it drops. This proactive approach means you or Adaptiv's system can step in right away, giving you a vastly better chance of dropping that meticulous evidence we just talked about and actually winning the case.
At the end of the day, here's the bottom line. By offloading all that heavy, complex payment admin stuff to a specialist like Adaptiv Payments, you actually get your time back. Your team can stop playing defense with banks all day and get back to what matters, delivering those unforgettable experiences your clients actually paid for.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on today. Take a hard look at your current setup and ask yourself, is your payment processor actually built to survive the unique risks of the travel industry? Or are they just treating you like someone selling t-shirts online? If you're dealing with crazy dispute rates and frozen funds, it might be time to switch it up. Don't let the travel chargeback trap sink your business. Take control, evaluate your partners, and maybe reach out to Adaptiv Payments for a tailored quote. Thanks so much for hanging out for this explainer, and we will catch you next time.